Guys, welcome to today's discussion on poultry farming. Today we are focusing on a crucial aspect of poultry farming, biosecurity. So guys, as you can see right here, I just finished washing my food bed. This is the shoe I normally use to move in. Okay, so guys, let's go in. You can see I use this polythene leather to make sure in case the rain comes, rain doesn't go in here. So go in like this. You can see my brooms and packers. So guys, when I come in here, you can see some birds actually laying in here. So most of these birds, they prefer to lay at their comfort zone. So guys, with this small box like this, it's also a strict measures of biosecurity as well, because I'll have to remain in this box and take off these shoes. Then I put any of these two shoes that is here and move inside. So with these tactics that I'm using, it's actually going to prevent diseases from going into our pen. Implementing strict biosecurity measures is essential so we can protect our flock from disease, then ensure food safety and maximize our profit so we can have a wonderful profit. So what is biosecurity? Biosecurity is the practice and measures taken to prevent the introduction and the spread of infectious disease within our poultry farm. Okay, it includes protocols for cleanliness, controlling animals and human access, and monitoring our flock health. So guys, you just have to make sure, like with what I just did currently, I showed you how this place is for you to see how I do everything. I sweep it up perfectly, then put it in here. Every 2 days I actually do that, because most times these chickens sleep from here. You can see some droppings on this wood, so the droppings come down to the floor and it's kind of sticky and wet. So I'll actually leave it so it's like this. So I will sweep it by tomorrow. Hopefully I will sweep it up, then put it in here. Then that is how on a weekly basis I'm actually going to take it out. Is how to prevent disease. Okay, disease outbreak can devastate our poultry farm, can cause like a very harmful environment to our poultry farm if it's not taken care of properly, leading to high mortality and rates. Decreased egg production. If you are in a laying system like mine, it's actually going to decrease your egg production. If you're having about 40 or 50% at the point of when your birds are laying, and you have a very weak biosecurity system, it's actually going to decrease your production. I can tell you for that. And if your birds are still very young at a tender age, it's actually going to give you a high mortality rate. So you have to know this and take it down, and significant financial loss. When you lose all your investment, you have actually lost a lot. You understand? So these common diseases which weak biosecurity measures can cause us. We all know the avian virus, the Newcastle, and the Salmonella. Biosecurity measures. We have to how to take these measures and put it in place. You have to quarantine new birds. When you bring new birds to the farm, whether they old or most people buy to brood and sell, you have to isolate the new birds. Okay, you have to restrict your farm access. Don't allow any visitor to come into your farm, and always put disinfectant on your food bed. Okay, so you clean and disinfect regularly. Make sure your clothes, your equipment, your shoes, like I showed you here, is always disinfected. Disinfect your facilities and your vehicles before using them. So guys, ensuring food safety. When we keep a very good biosecurity measures, maybe when you're in broiler production or layers production as well, when your birds is healthy, they produce safer eggs and meat. When your birds are not sick, people see your birds and they like your product. People see how big your eggs are and they would like to buy from you. Healthy birds produce safer eggs and meat, which is crucial for consumers, for people to buy. Contaminated poultry products can can lead to foodborne illness in human. When your foods or your eggs are contaminated, it can impact a very dangerous aspect to human health. When you handle your poultry or your farming products properly by keeping in a clean place, ensure eggs and meat are handled and stored under sanitary conditions to make sure they are very clean, and you have to control pests as well. Implement measures to control rodents like insects, rats, and the rest of them, because they are also a very harmful carrier of diseases as well, as you should know. So you have to take all this in place. Again, reducing economic losses. Disease outbreak can lead to costly treatment. When there's a very severe outbreak on your farm, like Newcastle, you know how much you are going to spend if you are keeping layers. If you are keeping layers, but when your production reduce, it's actually going to be very hard for you to retain balance of that particular percentage before your birds was having a disease outbreak. Or if you are keeping broilers, they're actually going to reduce in weight. So when your customer sees them, they are not actually going to be okay. They are not actually going to be satisfied with your product from your farm. Okay, so disease outbreak can lead to costly treatment, loss of birds, and decreased production. Yeah, that's for layers. Economic impact. The cost of implementing biosecurity measures is much lower than the potential losses from disease outbreak. When you implement your biosecurity, it's very, very simple to do that than to cure, because it's also known as when people say prevention is better than cure, it's actually easy to prevent like diseases, like by maintaining a good biosecurity, than trying to cure these birds when they are infected. Also follow your vaccination program very well to avoid weak system. When your birds are actually weak, they can easily contaminate diseases from anywhere. But when your birds are actually strong, they can have a bit of resistance in their body. Then you can use these vaccines to follow up. Okay, so you have to monitor the health of your birds as well. Check your birds regularly for if you see any sign in their body, and if you see any sign or issue, make sure you act as fast as possible so it will not escalate and contaminate other birds as well. A farm is known for its high biosecurity standard. When you want to enhance your farm reputation and marketability, the standard can build a strong reputation for the quality and safety of your birds. When your biosecurity measures is very strict, you will have a quality product, and people will actually know you for big eggs and big broilers, whichever one you are keeping. Okay, this can attract more customers, higher prices for products, and more profit, and potentially more business partnership. When people know that you are doing something very, very well, they would like to partner with you, because they know that you can never let them down, or you can never allow their money go in vain. Okay, so obtain a very good biosecurity measures, quality certification. Share your biosecurity practice with your customer to build trust. Don't let customer come close to your pen. Explain to them why you don't want them to come close to your pen, so they can actually understand. They might think you are actually hiding something from them. So just clarify them why you're actually preventing them from coming close. You want to practice a good biosecurity, separation of flock. You understand, you have to separate flock. Keep like different ages. When you are bringing broilers or layers in different bodies, you can't just join them together. You have to separate them as their age. If there are 3 stages of birds that are different age, you have to separate them and keep them, because they might not act, even if it's from the same hatchery. These birds have stayed longer than the other birds, and you have vaccinated those older ones, and you don't want the older ones to go close, because the litters as well can easily contaminate the new birds, because their immune system are not really strong. You understand, they are not really strong at all. So you have to keep them you have to separate them. Use a very good hygiene practices. Ensure all staff and visitors wash their hands before handling your birds. Anybody that's coming to vaccinate your birds, make sure they wash their hands very, very well. Wear a very good long gown, a very good apron. You have to dedicate a very good apron and footwear on different farms area. Like if you have a different segment of farm, before you go into, if you have a feed mill and like that, you have to wear a different footwear and different clothes to those places. And you also know how to manage your waste. This is waste management. Dispose it properly. If your birds die just like that, you have to dig the ground and make sure you bury those birds properly, very, very well. You understand? Dispose of dead birds and waste material properly to prevent contamination. Like you see the way I'm actually packing my own here. Yes, I actually just pack it like that on a weekly basis, then I dispose it. And no, most times if your birds die, most time when my birds, any of them die, like one like that in a while, because it's actually normal for your birds to die once in a while. Yes, you don't have to panic it as it's normal. Okay, so most times if I notice the bird is just weak and ill, I give it to my dogs. I just parboil or steam it and give it to my dogs. So that way I've actually eliminated all the bacteria that might actually come out from those chicken. Okay, so that is how it is, guys. I would just love to summarize everything I've just said. Okay, biosecurity is essential for preventing diseases outbreak. So you have to keep your food so safe. And most times you can see this rope. Currently I place this rope here, so most times these birds don't come here. You can see here is a bit clean. I just had to put this rope so I prevent them from actually climbing on top here, because they actually do climb here before. So I've actually restricted them from climbing because this rope will not allow them to have a very good balance. Okay, you can see that. So implement strict biosecurity. You understand? Make sure your biosecurity measures is very, very strict. Implementing strict biosecurity measures on your poultry farm is not just a best practice, but a necessity and for sustainable and profitable farming. Thank you for watching. Stay informed. Do well to like, share and hit the subscribe button so you can have a very good notification whenever we make our upload. Thank you for watching. Also stay secure and ensure the health of your flock. Have a wonderful day.